Hello and welcome. Welcome to yours and mine Cozy Corner. My name is Amanda, and on this channel, we talk about books, and more books. So, friends, today I have my very first book haul of 2026. These are books that I got from Second and Charles, which is a bookstore that sells just an array of different things, but they sell used books. They buy and sell used books, brand new books, records, all kind of trinkets. It's a store that's just filled with a lot of stuff. It's a fun store to go into. So anyway, I went there the other day with the intentions of not buying, well, I'm not going to say not buying a book, but not buying maybe more than one or two books. And of course, I left the store with 12 books. Don't judge me. So I know what I said I was going to do, and I know what I did is different. But again, don't judge me on that. So, nevertheless, let's get started. So, the first book that I have is The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. And you guys know I have my notes. I'm going to forever have that. But okay, so when I go into that store, I go straight to the back where most of the used books are, or I should say, all of the used books are. However, on their shelves, they do have books that are mixed in, and some of them, like, okay, these are brand new books because usually the price reflects that. But then on the other side, you have books, and sometimes just like, Goodwill books, um, or books at any used store, you may have some that are mixed in that look uh, brand new, but they're technically used. But in this particular case, I believe that this book is actually a brand new book. Now, this one did cost $5.25, but I don't believe this one is considered a used book. There, it's just located in the back. So this one is an adult historical fiction with a bit of mystery and fantasy. A female apothecary secretly dispenses poisons to liberate women from the men who have wronged them, setting three lives across centuries on a dangerous collision course. This is, I believe, the author's debut novel, and this book was actually recommended to me by my supervisor. And at the time, at the time, I didn't write down the book she told me, but I remember the word apothecary. So when I saw this, I was like, I think this is the book that she recommended to me. So today, I actually asked her because I got these books on the weekend, and I asked her about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's the book I recommended to you. It was good. It was okay. It wasn't bad." And I was like, "Wait a minute. Are you telling me you recommended a book to me that you hadn't finished at the time?" And she was like, "Oh, well, yeah, no, I didn't finish it at the time I was recommending it to you." Guys, I love a great book recommendation, but I'm going to assume that you actually read the book that you are recommending to me. Like, girl, come on. So, if you ever recommend a book to me in the comments, please make certain you have actually finished the book before you recommend it to me. But again, the book is only 5.25, so I'm not going to stress about it if it turns out not to be that great. Now, book number two. This is What is What by Dave Eggers. And this book is a brand new book. And it originally was priced at $5.30. However, I end up getting this from their clearance section. So, in my particular second in Charles, like I said, to the front is usually brand new books. And then as you walk to the back, like the first half of some of the many, many rows of books that they have are brand new books, and then everything else become used. But then when you get to the back of the store, they have clearance section, and that's where I got this one. and one other book back there on the clearance section. Now, this one is a contemporary historical fiction book that deals with war. This book is based on the life of, and forgive me, Valentino Achek-Ding, who, along with thousands of other children, the so-called Lost Boys, was forced to leave his village in Sudan at the age of 7 and trek hundreds of miles by foot. Pursued by malicious government bombers and wild animals crossing the desert of 3 countries to find freedom. When he finally is resettled in the United States, he finds a life of promise, but also heartache and new challenges. Book number 3. Now, I have seen this book on a couple of booktubers page. I can't really remember what they had to say about it, but I know I've seen it on several different pages here. But this is Take My Hand by Dolene Perkins Valdez. And this is also an adult historical fiction novel that deals with race and social justice issues. This is inspired by true events that rocked the nation, a profoundly moving novel about a Black nurse in post segregation Alabama who blows the whistle on a terrible wrong done to her patients. Now, I'm only going to read that part of the synopsis because if I read any more of it, some people may consider that a spoiler, and I don't want to spoil it for you. But I think if you do read what's um, the synopsis on the back of the book, that you can kind of gather at least one thing that takes place. But just like I said before, I'm not bothered if we're talking about either book number 1 in the series or just standalone books. I'm not bothered if you read the synopsis to me because I don't feel that everything that's written on the back of the book should actually spoil the book. But I know sometimes some people don't want to know anything about the book. That could give away anything. My thing is when that happens, or at least for me, I can just wait, a while, a couple of weeks. With so many different books, I'm not going to remember what detail was given unless they give away like the ending or the twist or something of that nature. But again, if you give me time and I haven't read the book, I'm probably going to forget it anyway. So, but again, I want to be mindful for people who don't enjoy that. So I don't want to go any further with that. But hopefully that is a good book as well. Book number 4. This is The Wedding by Dorothy West. And guys, forgive me. I have a new camera, so I'm trying to figure out where I need to look at. Um, so if you see my eyes kind of wandering all over the place, that's what it is. Hopefully the video turns out nicely. But again, this is a new camera, so I don't really know what's going to happen. But this book here. This is considered a classic. This is also a historical fiction book that deals with race, class, and romance. So it tells the story of life in the Oval, which is a proud insular community made up of the best and brightest of the East Coast Black middle class. Within this inner circle of the Blue Vein Society, Shelby of the prominent Coles family could have chosen from a whole area of eligible men of the right color and the right profession. Instead, she falls in love with and is about to be married to a white jazz musician from New York. A shockwave breaks over the Oval as its longtime members grapple with the changing faces of its community. I think that's probably going to be a good read. And that is what, one, two, three, four historical fiction novels. It is so funny. When I go to the Goodwill, it seemed like I end up picking up a lot of YA books, not knowingly. Because I'm gonna be honest, when I'm in the bookstore, I can't sit there and read like the synopsis on every book. So usually the cover gets me, or if I know the author, that kind of grabs me too. But it's, sometimes I don't realize like, oh, this book is a YA romance or whatever until I make it home. But nevertheless, it's all good. All right, book number 5. Speaking of books and covers, this is one of the books that I grabbed because I was just like, oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful cover. And that is The Nest by Cynthia Sweeney. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. This is an adult contemporary fiction. So we have the dysfunctional Plum family that has been dealing with years of simmering tension. There are 3 siblings that decide to confront their older brother that has just been released from rehab. The older brother has single handedly endangered the Plum's joint trust fund that they are only months away from finally receiving. This sounds like this may be a messy, messy book, and I hope it is, because I love a good messy book. But hopefully, it's heartfelt too, and you don't have just the messy stuff going on, messy, but with a good ending. I'm hoping. But like I said, this book is absolutely just a gorgeous book. And oh, I meant to tell you, so this book cost $5.50 and the wedding book was actually $3.50. Now, I don't know if I told you the Take My Hand. This was $6.95, and this is one that I believe was also just a brand new book. I don't. It doesn't have the same sticker as I believe the used books have, and I could be wrong. I don't know if they're color coded or if that color means anything, but just me guessing from how the book look, I believe this is just a brand new book. All right, book number 6 is Becoming the Boogeyman by Richard Chizmar. And again, I believe that this is a brand new book. It was $7.95. And most of the used books that are paperback at Second and Charles, I find are usually between $5 and $8, but usually about five 95 or something like that. But again, I think this one is a brand new book. So that is a horror suspense mystery thriller, and that is book number 2 in the Boogeyman series. And from my understanding, you can read it as a standalone, but it's probably better read as it's better to read it in order. So I don't want to mention anything because it is the second book in the series. And when it comes to series, I definitely don't want to give away anything from the synopsis, unlike if it's just a standalone. So anyway, next set of books, let me grab those. And I'm going to switch out. Hopefully I do not knock this camera over because I would cry if I did that. All right, book number 7. Again, the cover of this book is absolutely beautiful, and that's what kind of made me gravitate towards it. And this is I Fell in Love with Hope, a novel by Lane Cally. It is so beautiful. Now, this right here is a YA contemporary romance that deals with mental health and love. And no, from reading the synopsis, I did not know that this was a YA romance. But I believe in this particular case, had I known that this was a YA romance, I still probably would have picked this book up. So this is about a group of terminally ill patients who vow to live the rest of their lives to the fullest and find a love that transforms and transcends. And there's more. There's, the synopsis is kind of long on the back of the book. But again, usually I don't gravitate towards YA romance, but I think I still would have picked this up anyway. I hope that that's a really good book. Um, the next one I have, now this is definitely a used one. This is A Flicker in the Dark by Stacy Willingham. So, I mean, it's still pretty good condition, but I can tell that this is a used book, and this is $5.75. And when I was mentioning about color, I think like when it has this orange sticker on here, that means, and I could be wrong. If anybody knows this, leave it in the comments. Let me know. But I believe when they use this orange sticker, that means that this is a used book, unlike this one that has a white sticker. But again, I could be wrong. So this one is a suspense mystery crime thriller. We have Chloe Davis. So, when Chloe Davis was 12, six teenage girls went missing in her small Louisiana town. Chloe's father had been arrested as a serial killer and promptly put in prison. 20 years later, Chloe is a psychologist in private practice and getting ready for her wedding. Life is coming together. But then a local teenage girl goes missing, and then another. And that terrifying summer comes crashing back. Is she paranoid and seeing parallels that aren't really there? Or for the second time in her life, is she about to amass a killer? Sounds really good. Can't wait to read that one. Now, the next book I have, book number 9, this is also, I'm going to say that this is a used book because it has that orange sticker for $4.95, but it was in the clearance section and I got this book for $2. And this is Lucifer's Flood by Linda Brooke. Okay. Now, this is a fictional Christian fantasy that deals with religion, the supernaturals, and angels. This is book number 1 in the Reluctant Demon Diary series. A strange man shows up at the office of language expert Samantha Yale with a mysterious scroll written in an even more mysterious language. As she begins to translate, she discovers an eyewitness account of war in heaven from an angel who sided with Lucifer and then deeply regretted his decision. The tale is hard to believe but impossible to ignore. Lucifer's Flood presents an equally fascinating and frightening tale of prehistoric heaven and earth. Now, I have read Christian romance before. I have never read a fictional Christian fantasy type of book. So I'm really interested in how this book turns out. Now, book number 10. This is Drowning by T.J. Newman. And this is a brand new book. This cost $7.95. All right, beautiful cover. So, this is a contemporary suspense thriller. This author is a flight attendant turned author. Now, I don't know if she's still a flight attendant or not, but that is her background. So, she actually wrote the book called Fallen, which I do own. That book was absolutely awesome. So, I knew that I don't know how many books that she's written, but I knew she had written the book Drowning. And this is book number 2. They're not like a series or anything like that. But this is her second book. So I knew I had to get it because of how I enjoyed Fallen. Now I'm going to read the synopsis on this one. It's not long, but it's not as quick as the other one because this to me, if you like how the synopsis sound, you're probably gonna like her books. So this is 6 minutes after takeoff. Flight 1421 crashes into the Pacific Ocean. During the evacuation, an engine explodes and the plane is flooded. Those still alive are forced to close the doors, but it's too late. The plane sinks to the bottom with 12 passengers trapped inside. More than 200 feet below the surface, engineer Will Kent and his 11-year-old daughter Shannon are waist deep in water and fighting for their lives. Their only chance at survival is an elite rescue team on the surface led by the professional diver Chris Kent. Shannon's mother and Will's soon to be ex wife, who must work together with Will to find a way to save their daughter and rescue the passengers, from the sealed airplane, which is now teetering on the edge of the undersea cliff. That sounds absolutely awesome. And just the thought of being trapped on a plane, now trapped on a plane that has crashed and has gone under, that gets my heart kind of fluttering a little bit. So I can't wait to read that one. Now, book number 11. This is also a book that I remember seeing on a lot of booktubers, their channels. But when I picked this up, I really couldn't remember what any of them had said about it, but I know that this was a very popular book. And this is Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. And this one is $7.95. So this is a brand new book as well. Okay. All right. So this is a historical fiction mystery crime thriller. January 1978. So it's historical, but it's not that long ago. But January 1978, a serial killer has terrorized women across the Pacific Northwest. When the soon to be infamous murderer descends on the top sorority at Florida State University campus, the lives of those who survive are forever changed. Two women join forces in search for justice. That's going to be a very interesting read, and I believe that most people may know who the serial killer is at their reference. I don't think that's a spoiler of any sort, but I won't say who that is just in case you don't know and may consider it a spoiler, so I won't say. Now, book number 12, last but definitely not least. Guys, when I saw this book, I knew this book was coming home with me. I didn't care what the synopsis said, it didn't matter. This book is absolutely stunning. It is absolutely beautiful. This book, like I said, I didn't care what it said. It was pick it up, it's going home with me. And that is Black Candle Women by Diane Marie Brown. Absolutely gorgeous. And this is a brand new book. This book was $9.95. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. So this is a contemporary fantasy, magical realism book that deals with paranormal activities and witches. So we have four generations of Montrose women that keep to themselves, never venturing far from home, and their collection of tinctures and spells is an unspoken bond between them. But when young Nikki brings home a boy for the first time, their quiet lives are thrown into disarray. For the family has withheld a crucial secret from Nikki all these years. Any person a Montrose woman falls in love with will die. Well, that would be helpful in knowing that. Their surprise guest forces each woman to reckon with her own past choices and mistakes. And as new truths about the curse emerge, they're set on a collision course dating back to 1950s New Orleans French Quarter, where a hidden story in a mysterious book may just hold the answers they seek in life and in love. Guys, that sound like that's going to be really, really good. And I hope it is, because this is one of those books that I don't want to take down off my shelf because it is so beautiful. I just have to show you again. Look at that. Which I'm probably going to have it posted up here. So I don't know why I'm picking it up again, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, guys, that is my first book haul of 2026. Book haul from Second and Charles. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have read any of these books that I'm talking about, leave it in the comment. Let me know which book it is, what rating you gave it, or what you thought of the book. Or just let me know if any of them sound like they would be interesting for you. So now, before I go, I have to say, this has really messed me up because when I got these books here, I was like, okay, I'm going to grab some of these books. I know what I want to be on my TBR list for March. And again, I usually don't make a TBR list, but I have been enjoying it the last couple of times that I've done it. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make my TBR list for March. And then I also end up going to the public library and grabbing like 6 or 7 books, which I'm like, why would you do that? Because there's no way that I can get through the books that I put on my TBR list and those that I have grabbed from the public library. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll go in and switch some books out, change this and that. But it's like, oh my goodness, I don't want to switch these books out. So I'm kind of like, stuck. I don't know what I should do because unfortunately, um, if I don't read the book from the public library, they're going to be due earlier than when I needed to be due. And I don't want to hold on to the books, especially if other people are waiting, versus the list that I've already come up with those books. I own them, so I could move them, but like some of them are series and I kind of want to go ahead and finish it. And I'm excited. I don't know what to do. I kind of, made a mess of that, but I want to figure it out. Don't know what it is. If you guys have any suggestions as to what I should do, please let me know that as well. And also, if you guys wouldn't mind, if you would like, share, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.